Hello, Mr. Tam. How are you this afternoon?
Good afternoon. I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm alive. I'm alive.
Alive.
I've
Alive
got
is
some
good.
had some overnight shifts and some late night shifts, so it's kind of a bit
Oh,
all over the place. But it's fine. It's meant I've got a week off without actually taking any holiday, so I'll
oh
take that.
well, yeah, that's good.
Anyway, so how has your week in RuneScape been? What have you been up to this week? How's it gone?
Wait, what? It's just Tuesday. I guess I haven't done too much. Well, today I've been doing some Telos pushing, so getting a bit over warden. I got my warden a while ago with a yak and pretty much ate for the mechanics. Now I'm pushing with a nihil to finally
Hmm.
get over 500. So we're closing to the 600 mark now, and I want to get eventually to like 999, 999 enrage, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But gotta get more solid at it, and then yeah, some perk upgrades. I don't really remember what I've done other than that. I mean, I'm doing my community BMs daily, so there's that. Poor Arn's in need. Gotta get their BMs in right. But yeah, pretty much a little bit of this and that. Some Ironman grinding most of it.
Very nice. So, what's your favorite boss? Because obviously you do a lot of raids. Instead, you got
Yeah,
getting
I'm
into
actually not too
Telos.
much into raids, believe it or not. Full raid definitely not my favorite type of content because I don't know, it's just too much that can go wrong, and if there's like people to blame in a team, then it can get pretty toxic, and I'm all against that. So I actually prefer Solak. So I do still prefer group bossing. That's what I mainly play the game for. Um, and Solak was like a boss that I failed really hard at because it was a hard boss and I was not an experienced bosser at the beginning. And then um, it took me quite a while to like the get it
Understand the
started.
fight. Yeah.
So I only had my hardcore at the time, and it was pretty tough to learn on the hardcore. So I had some people that do it with me on practice mode, and the main account that has much lower gear and it's not even like active anymore now. So it's really tough in lower gear as well. And once I finally learned it, I was really happy about that. And um, definitely my favorite boss because I'm still learning at it. It gets faster. It's really fun to deal with the mechanics. So yeah, I would say Solak by quite a bit. By far
And
my favorite boss.
and what sort of size teams do you normally do?
I prefer four man. Four man seems to be a good amount because four man is like pretty easy chill kills. It's not too confusing. There's four paths, four people that kind of gets there. Um, not too many missed paths, and then if you have somebody die, then you can still finish it as a trio if it's kind of a little bit into the kill. So that seems to be pretty good. 7 man is too chaotic. Duo is a little hard, and if your teammate dies, you're just gonna
It's
start
just
over. So
over,
4 man
yeah.
seems to be good. Yeah,
Unless you want to
definitely.
take 3 hours or whatever it is that we've had a couple of Solak, obviously.
What? Who you?
No, not me. I've done one
Oh.
Solak kill ever. No, definitely
Wait,
not me.
I would be surprised. That would be great. I mean, you're not playing the game for too long yet, right? How long have you been playing? Sorry, now I'm interviewing you, but
It's all good. Just over a year and a half now. So
the Uno reverse card.
yeah,
All right.
yeah. It took me. Oh yeah, it would take me
Yeah,
basically 18 months to max effectively. Because I maxed
that's
a
not
couple of
bad
weeks
for a
ago.
first
So
account. Yeah, that's pretty good.
it's all
Oh,
good.
congrats. Late congrats.
Well, let's go back to a question that I normally start with. You've just asked me when and why did you start playing RuneScape? How did you get into it?
Ah, I remember that I started playing RuneScape for the first time. I was playing some other game with friends, and they were I was over at a friend's house, and we were playing the same kind of game. I don't even remember what it was. But then after we did some stuff, we got on their computer and we logged in and checked some stuff and played it together for just a bit. And then he was playing this other game called RuneScape, and he kind of got bored of the game we were playing and started RuneScape. And I was like interested and looked pretty cool, as in what they're doing there. And then I downloaded it myself, or you don't really download it. You didn't download it at the time. It was like 10 years ago, or at least 10 years ago. and started playing it at home. And I wasn't really like into it much because I didn't play a lot. I played maybe like 30 minutes to an hour a day at most on my computer. So obviously you don't really get far in RuneScape if you do that. And I was a 10-year-old kid or something, so
Yeah. It's setting
I
those
wouldn't
tiny
really know
little
much.
goals and bits, and
Exactly. It was a little fun. Just got the basics in maybe. And then I stopped for a while and played other games, and eventually came back to it again, and then I stopped again, and maybe I lost my count at some point, and eventually I started this my original, or not original, but like my latest main account, which is not my iron, but the main before that, who I think I started like 5 years ago now. And then I got serious about it and actually maxed that account. And after that, I started to get into my Ironman that used to be hardcore. So yeah, just through a friend, I kind of saw the
it's
game and looked cool.
it's a very common thing. It seems like most people that still play it nowadays got introduced to it by a friend rather than be the
Right.
ones to
Yeah.
actually discover it themselves.
I feel like that too. I mean, where would you find it, right? I've never heard about it apart from like some friends that play it, but yeah, I guess it's not like the most popular game anymore, so
No, but it is a name that a lot of people recognize, especially like
fair,
UK
yeah.
or
Used to be pretty big, and it's like what, a 20-year-old game now, so
yeah,
yeah,
20 in
OG game.
January, isn't it? I think it's January the
Oh, I have no
anniversary,
idea.
something like that.
Yeah, I know that. The 20.
20
It would have been
years.
the 20th Runes Fest or
It would
something
have
like that.
been
At least they celebrate the
10.
anniversary then. So.
Would have been 10,
Oh, okay.
I
So
think.
they didn't. Okay. Well, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, I first like came across RS3 again when I watched the documentary, the 15-year one. Don't know if you've seen the
15 years. That's 5
15-year
years ago already.
documentary. Yeah.
Or no?
So, but I watched it like just before I started last year. I just stumbled across it on YouTube. It came up on recommended. Like
Hmm.
I know Wazzy IRL. I knew he was streaming the game, but I never actually
Right.
paid much
Right.
attention to it.
Of course. I mean,
Then
now
sort
that
of you
really.
watch the documentary and kind of learn a little bit more about it, and just kind of
Hmm.
piqued my interest. Came along, played a little bit, got
Yeah.
some little boosters by Wazzy and his community, and that kind of helped keep me interested, I guess. But
Right. It's never really interesting if you watch a game that you don't play yourself, especially RuneScape. You don't really
yeah,
know what is going on until you play it yourself, so it's a shame, but if you get
yeah,
into it, then you're in.
it's
You
it's
never stop.
it is
You
one of the
always come back.
limiting factors for getting new players in, because a
Hmm.
lot of the stuff with RS3 is the combat, and the combat is a lot of it is quite late game and requires you to put in a lot of hours to actually get to the stuff that you're watching.
True. Yes, that is true.
So it's like any new player that comes along from watching a stream expecting
Of
the same
course, you have to
experience.
have
It's
the
like,
grind
oh,
spirit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're in it for bossing, you might be disappointed because it's mostly grind game, but most streamers don't really stream the grind of it, right?
no,
Just the
exactly.
bosses at the end. Right. See that, yeah.
So where does the username, where does Careful Tam come from?
Well, okay, so I used to have all kind of nicknames. I don't even remember most of them. But Tam is the first three letters of my last name. So yeah, my last name is Tamela, which is kind of hard to pronounce. That used to be my in-game name, and people had some issues with like how to pronounce it, and then I
Right,
corrected
yeah.
them and gave up on it, and they asked me how to pronounce it, and I was like, all right, just call me Tam. And eventually, I changed my nickname to that. I think it was Detective Tam. His time would have been taken, but that was my mains account, and then I didn't ever stream my main account. I was learning the game, and then I had this hardcore called Careful Tam. I was like, it would be fitting. I would be
Yep.
a careful hardcore account that doesn't want to die. See how far I can get. And yeah, started that hardcore, and then I only started streaming after I maxed that account. And I thought I had something pretty cool to share. So it wasn't that many maxed hardcores at the time, and especially not a lot that streamed. So I'd be like, sure, I'll just share everything and show people what I've got and where I'm going and what I'm doing on it. So I thought
Yeah.
that would be interesting enough, and that's how it started. So that's why my Twitch account is Careful Tam as well. And that's how it all happened.
So it's probably a story you've told a few times, but how did the hardcore lose its hardcoreness? I know
Okay.
it probably.
No, I'm always ready for that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So originally, I was bored on my main account, right? So I just got talked into it by someone to start a hardcore and see if I like it. And I didn't really think I would like it, and I was very wrong about that. And I realized that soon enough. But originally, I just created the account to see how far I could get with it, but without dying. I didn't want to avoid any content. And just like
Yeah. Just see how much
skill
of
in a
the.
bank or something to not die. That was not the point of it, because I know I can survive in hardcore if I'm just AFK at a bank where nothing can kill me, right? So I still wanted to do bosses and all, and let's see how long it would take me to kill me. And then I died fairly early on. My first life was something really silly, but they all were. They always are. Um, it was on an uncharted island. They just came out then,
Right.
and I was killing some stuff like zombies maybe, or just skilling in on there and testing stuff out. And the zombies didn't give much. And then I saw these ceasing of priestesses on there, and they kind of hurt, but I didn't really mind because I had food and I like had it under control. They
Yeah.
did stun and bleeds like elves maybe in Prif, and I was like, maybe these Sea Singer priestesses, without checking on the wiki or anything, drop some Sea Singer stuff. And I was so
Yeah.
excited. Maybe they dropped that. It would make sense, right? For ports. And so I started killing them, realized they hurt. And then I went to that little boat, the bank, and got out some more food, which was sharks at the time. And they would do more than plenty for me, and I attacked like two at a time with a dragon breath or
Yeah.
something, and I was like, sure, I have all the food. And I dropped pretty low and didn't really realize at first. And then all of a sudden I was almost dead and just couldn't out eat the damage, and I was checking what's wrong and noticed that I noted some stuff that I picked up on the island beforehand, like driftwood maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and then put it in my inventory noted again so I can sell it later and save inventory space. And then I withdrew the sharks noted as well. And I didn't realize until it was too late, and I was very low. Tried to run to the boat, but it was a very small island. So they just followed me and cancelled my banking and everything. So it's
No.
really stupid. But obviously, I learned from that mistake. Very sad death, but I didn't really care at the time
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
didn't really think I would make it far anyway. And then I definitely learned from that a lot, because I realized how important it is to always have an emergency teleport with you, since there was no PVM hub at the
Mm-hmm.
time, to get out of any situation and this and that. And then, yeah, I just really started learning a lot about the game and managed to actually not die. Had maybe a close call or two. And the second life, I eventually lost on stream. So there are clips to that. The second life was in Elite Dungeon 2 to Veriglyph. I had done a couple kills before. And then there was those fire tornado attacks that really hurt. But I was like, I know how to dodge them by now, and I just run away when I get that big fireball that turns into that huge
Yeah.
pile of fire tornadoes. And eventually I just got too comfortable, which is a very common hardcore mistake, and had that fire tornado thing, and I just sidestepped it a little bit, like a couple squares ran to the east, and it wasn't enough. So there was some fire tornadoes spawning or maybe even two, to get me, and I realized I was too close to it, and instead of telling out, I tried to run away, and the fire tornadoes took the same pathing as me
Just
as
follow
they
you
moved.
exactly.
It followed
Oh.
exactly under me, and it killed me before I could teleport out. So that was really tough. So that was I made it so far
Yeah.
and realized I could actually get somewhere, and then I lost that life. I still had one, so it was okay. I just lost some items, I guess.
Hmm.
And then the third one, that's the tragic clip. I think most people know about this one by now. The Virago death, where I think I was trioing Virago at the time, and it was just a big series of unfortunate events. Really, I'm not sure how familiar you are with Virago, but
Fairly. I know that you've
okay,
got obviously the bit where he reflects stuff, and
right.
yeah,
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I thought I know most of it, but there's always so many like small things that if you know them all and it comes all together, then you're so much more experienced than somebody that just knows the basics. Um, and so it happened that we were on team split. I always went on team split because there was a lot of options for me to lobby in case
yeah.
something goes wrong. Um, and team split, if you don't get the HP down in time after the last waterfall of P4, it is, then you will get another team split eventually. And we messed it up. We just reset the HP or something, and then the waterfall happened. Then there was another team split, and if you get a team split after the last waterfall, it starts to, well, I don't want to say bug. That's, I guess, just how the boss works. The bombs start to come out earlier, and you actually get those bombs during the team split already. And one of my teammates saw that he had a bomb, and he didn't want to get into the same box with me
Yeah.
to give the hardcore a bomb. And so he tried to survive outside of the box, but didn't, and so he died, and it just left me and
And
another
whatever. Yeah.
person. Yeah, and we decided, obviously, I don't want to risk do. I didn't know how to
Hmm.
do at the time, and so we decided to lobby. However, then Virago, as he ended the phase, jumped on me, which prevented me from world hopping. It should have let me lobby, but I tried world hopping because I heard it's safer. But now I know
Okay.
lobbying would have been safer. So it's always it's different
Yeah.
scenarios. Sometimes world hopping works and lobbying doesn't, and then it's the other way around. It's weird how it works. But lobbying would have worked. I tried to world hop, and then because it jumped on me, the world hop didn't work. I didn't get out of combat in time, and then I jumped down into the last phase, P5. And as I was TL5, as that's the safest role in a trio, I still had the maul, and I forgot to build it because I was so focused on lobbying that I took some maul bleed. Because if you don't build the maul, you you don't you take constant damage until you build it, like 100 or so.
Hmm.
But I'm not sure if you could have lobbied there. Anyway, the world hopping didn't work, and my teammate thought I was more than safe, which is kind of fair to assume, because all I had to do is click the lobby button.
Yeah.
And lobbied himself, which just left me at
Stuck.
P5 alone with Virago and still didn't build them all. And he slowly just pushed me over, and I was like, "Why can I not lobby?" And I was about to cry. I wasn't really crying, but I really died inside there for that moment. But obviously, it had to happen at some point. So it's been more than a year now,
Yeah.
and I'm definitely over it.
I
But
guess
yeah,
it's quite
very
a
tragic death.
it's quite a memorable way to go though as well,
Of
isn't it? It's
course,
a
at
lot
least
better
without
than
Virago, yeah.
it's a lot better than just having like a net fail or something like that and just lose it
Exactly.
from
Yeah,
that.
that would have sucked. Yeah, and I did create another hardcore or two and try to get back there again, and then eventually the last hardcore that I lost, I DC that Vindicta and lost my first life. I still have two on the account. The account exists, but I really just lost motivation after losing a death
Yeah.
to a DC, and that's really tough. Losing a life. Do not want that to happen again, but eventually get back to it. I already announced they'll make a hardcore series at some point soon, but there's just so much to do on my Ironman right now. I can finally learn all those bosses on a high
Hmm.
level Ironman account, and I'm really enjoying that, getting some 292 grinds and stuff I've never done before. So I want to do that, of course, and then come back as an experienced PVMer that tries hardcore again. and see how it goes. That's something
That's the
exciting.
aim.
Looking forward to. Yeah.
Very nice. Well, what's your first 99? Take it away from bossing for a little bit.
I'm pretty sure it was Slayer on my main account at the time. Slayer was like the one. I'm not sure if it was Slayer though. I'm pretty sure it was Slayer, but not entirely. I wonder if I got a combat style to 99 first, but I think it was Slayer. That's the only one I remember anyway. That I've really just tried to get Slayer because that was the skill I enjoyed. I didn't really have the patience or like to AFK skill or get it too repetitive.
Yeah, you enjoy your combat.
Combat is fine, yeah, but Slayer was like I didn't always go to the same place that's best XP and do the same thing until I get my 99. I was too impatient for that anyway because it would take way too long. So I enjoyed Slayer because it was different tasks, different drops, see what I can get there, and I was in a main, so like how much money do I make here? What could I get here? And so on. And that was interesting, definitely more interesting to me at the time. And so eventually that just happened. Yeah, I did a lot of Slayer until I got that, and then I was really happy, and eventually they just started piling up, and I got another 99, and so on. It just somehow happened. I don't know
And what
how.
what was the last 99 before you maxed? For the first time, obviously.
Oh, for the first time. Oh my god, on the first time maxing? I honestly don't remember. I have no idea. 5 years ago? 4.5 maybe? Wow. What was my first 99?
The last 99.
Last 99, right.
Yeah.
Would
it have been something like divination, or
Yeah. You know
maybe?
what? That could actually be it. I actually no, it was invention because I was almost maxed and then invention came out.
Right.
So it was invention, but it was probably something like divination before that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because invention launch sounds like it was a bit of a mess.
yeah, it was just I really didn't follow any streams, any guides, anything. So I just played the game by myself, and I really wasn't efficient. I wasn't like checking what efficient ways I could be doing stuff. So I didn't even know much about caches and how good they are, and I didn't know much about the game at all. So I talked to some people, but I didn't really ask them about efficient methods. So yeah, I was really a complete noob even when I maxed, and it was quite astonishing how fast and much I would learn when I started streaming. So many people were seeing what I'm doing, and they asked, "Why aren't you doing it like that?" Or "You're missing this." And obviously, sometimes it can get annoying, but not really. Most of the time, it's just appreciate the help or the question, and I definitely learned a lot of it. I learned a ton from it, and I would not be anywhere near where I am today if I didn't have people watching and talking to and followed other streams where I learned a lot of stuff about all kinds of stuff. So
that's the thing, isn't it? With a game that's been around for, like we said, nearly 20 years, there's so much
there
stuff that
is
you can
so
just
much.
miss, and
True.
it's very hard for them to introduce every single concept in the game in some way, because that's just endless tutorials. It would feel like you were going
There's so many scenarios where you can be in, where you have high level this but low level that, or a lot of money or not a lot of money, and there's always like another thing that you can do that is like really good or fun or efficient in this scenario, especially for Ironman mode. And for main, it was more like grind money, spend money on skills. But for Ironman, that's even more extreme, I would say.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting. It's what keeps me in the game, I would say.
Obviously, Archaeology launched pretty much nearly 6 months ago exactly now.
Okay.
How did you find it and the whole sort of journey up?
I would say I'm pretty happy with it. We knew that it was an AFK skill, so I was hoping it wouldn't be too slow and too boring. Like, of course, it is a little slow, but it gets better towards the end. It's not too bad after your 115 maybe 114 is where it starts to get okay again. But I'm actually happy with the skill because it's not like divination where you stay at the same spot and it's very slow XP. It's something different. It's more variety in it. You change dig sides and you have artifacts, different artifacts, mysteries and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it as it is for it's pretty good for an AFK skill. People are like it's too slow and it's too boring, but they forget that it's an AFK skill and that's part of the game. And so yeah, considering that it's pretty good skill, I would say. Still don't
And
have my 120, almost there, 2 mil off or so. But
and I
I'm
guess
on it now.
the important thing is that the rewards are worth it as well for all the other
Yeah,
aspects
for
of the
sure.
game.
Yeah, it's great on our. I mean, the launch was just huge because there's so many things that are new to the game and change the game, PVM, skilling, everything. Right? It was really interesting, and it will also give me so much stuff to do because not only did I have to get 120 Archaeology, I also had to look into the new perks that I can upgrade my gear with, and then there's relics, like a lot of them that use a new ancient invention with Ripper demons and stuff that is really really good to use. So I think it was a great addition to the game because it gave us so much to play around with and do in the game. So definitely one of the bigger updates in the last years for sure.
Well, yeah.
Which isn't hard to beat, but you know, I mean, it's definitely was a great update.
It seems like it brought quite a lot of people back as well to even if they
That
were
is
just
true
trying it
too.
out,
Yeah,
but it feels like player numbers have kind of stayed at a higher level since the launch.
I'm not
Obviously,
sure about that, but yeah, it seemed like a lot of people came back and a lot of stuff was happening. Obviously, there was quarantine as well at the same time, so it's
yes, that's kind of
almost
helped.
perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely great. I would say.
Is there any in-game activity you wish was a bit more popular that
Hmm.
you'd like to be able to do if more people are around?
In-game activity that's more popular. Well, I mean, I'm not really a big fan of some mini games. There's some that are more fun, some that are less fun. But if they introduced more or cooler mini games, it's maybe a little much to ask, but I wish mini games were a bit more popular, and I think it's mainly because it's just not good rewards. It's not worth playing the mini games to begin with, right? Like, sure, nobody's enjoying like wood cutting or anything like that, but there are rewards to it,
Yep.
so you got to do it anyway. If it was the way for mini games and they introduced some newer mini games, maybe some fun mini games, um, then yeah, I would say that would be a fun thing to do for other grinds for something to get there. That's really good. Together as a group, I just like group activities really, and it's it's a lot more fun together. So I'm enjoying group bosses a lot more than solo grinds, like solo bosses
Hmm.
tell us, let's say. And if I do some AFK skilling or some regular skilling, at least stream or talk to people
Yeah.
or whatever it is. So that makes it fun to me. So mini games would be one thing, but I don't really have like a specific thing I'm thinking of that I really want to be more popular. I think it's fine right now. I'm just thinking there's a lot of dead content,
Yep.
and they could maybe bring it back with rewards. They don't have to rework everything. If they just give better rewards, then people might play it again. And if a lot of people play it again, it might actually be more fun.
Yeah,
So
literally create some new updated reward shop for mini games or
yeah,
just
that would
something
that
like
would
that.
not be a bad idea. I would say, yeah,
Obviously, would
I would
probably
like
take
that.
quite a bit of balancing and stuff to get the numbers
Sure,
right, but it would be the
sure.
easiest way for them to get people
I
back.
think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would approve.
So, what other games and stuff do you play, or are you pretty much? I mean, I know we've played a little bit Fall Guys together, and
Right.
a
So
couple of
and
games of
Rocket
Rocket
League.
League. Yeah.
True, true. I'm a gamer, I play a lot of games. So I'm only having some side jobs at the moment to pay for rent and food and stuff.
Yep.
And I am streaming pretty much most of the other time, and in my free time I play other games while I AFK in RuneScape. That's pretty much how it's been going for a long time now. and I've played all kinds of games. I used to play chess, almost semi-professionally. So it was like that best in my age in Vienna. So definitely I'm not bad at the game.
I was going to say
And
we played each other
oh
a
yeah,
few
you
months
know that.
ago,
True,
didn't we?
true,
And
true.
I got
So
absolutely
I
mullered.
play. You're, you're yeah, you would know. But yeah, I play a lot of that online. I play obviously Rocket League every now and then, not as much. I play Fall Guys at the moment because it's fun. It's another group game, so I definitely prefer games that we can play together. And then just there's a lot of games I've tested out and played throughout the years. Let's say Hearthstone, Valorant, League of Legends, also even I mean a
Just
couple.
a bit of everything,
I know about a lot of games. Maybe not as many PlayStation, Xbox games, but I know of a lot of games. Or maybe I don't know of a lot of games, but I've played a lot of games and I know about
the
a lot
concepts and the play
in certain
styles. Yeah.
games. Right, yeah.
Have you ever kind of got into another MMO, or has RuneScape always been the one?
MMO. Well, there was some like cheap MMO at the time, some online like mini clip style. You just go on a website, play a game. There was something, I don't even remember the name, that I played for a little bit because it was just fun. You could fight stuff, and there's other players running around. They're actually players and not
Yeah.
computer bots. And I played that for a little bit, but definitely not more than 20 hours in total. And I tried World of Warcraft for like maybe 2 hours, but then I decided it's not for me because I already had played RuneScape as I started up pretty early, and then always quit and came back. So I knew RuneScape already, and I just preferred RuneScape over it. So I pretty much just always stuck with RuneScape. Yeah. So MMOs, I probably am not really an expert,
I know a
which
lot.
explains why I was a bit noob at the time too.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah,
I know quite a lot of people have been getting into Final Fantasy 14. Obviously, Omid
yes, I heard
and
that.
Ken have
I
been giving
trolled
it
you.
a go
Yeah,
recently.
right. Seen that.
So I don't know.
Yeah, he's
Is it
definitely an MMO player.
tempted you to
Not
have a
really,
look, or
no. No. MMOs don't really tempt me at all. Excuse me.
it's just the unique play style of RuneScape, I guess. That
Right. I mean, I have my community already here. I liked it at the time, had an account already, and I was just like, if I didn't have another game that was really getting into the time, I would always come back to RuneScape again. Um, but if I start a new MMO, I wouldn't. Mainly, I don't know too many people that I would play it with at the moment, and I have so many people here in RuneScape that I know that are playing it. And if I stream, then I have all them around me too, so it's great. But no, MMOs are not really my thing. I would maybe say, apart from RuneScape, of course. So if there's something like Fall Guys, a fun little game that's hyped and everybody plays it,
you're more likely
if
to
you
get
play
into
that with a
that.
couple of friends, that's great. But yeah, MMOs, no, not really my thing apart from RuneScape that I'm stuck with now. But
stuck with.
I can't quit. Nobody ever can. You don't get out of it ever.
Have you got any favourite moments from your time, either playing or on stream as well? Because I know we covered probably one of the least
Favorite moment.
favourite
Right, that's a
moments.
good question. My favorite moment of my streaming career or in
Yeah,
game in
well,
general?
one from
I
each.
mean, it probably is the same anyway. So, one that popped into my head right away was when I comped my hardcore. There only was one other hardcore that had comp at the time. There have been more. Somebody's ringing my door.
It's all right. Feel free to go
I'm
grab it if you
gonna
want. It's
have
all
to
good.
go. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Oh, what the? Why is that turned off? Hello.
Oh, hello. I'm sorry.
No,
My
no
dad
worries.
just
It was
got here, but we can
perfect
finish.
timing because my camera just decided it wanted to turn off on its own as well.
Okay,
So
that's all planned then. Perfect. Little break.
yeah, I mean,
What was I saying?
favorite moment in game was comping.
Right. So, okay. So, right, like I said, there were hardcore that had comped before, but then there was new content introduced into the game, like Telos and other stuff, more bosses, and then it was still a requirement to have Reaper Crew to kill at least every boss once. So it was pretty tough when Sola came out because it's still a very hard and dangerous boss. So nobody just had killed it before, except that one guy who went with a group, and I was pretty much the second one to get a kill on a hardcore with a great team that helped me out because, like I said, I wasn't very experienced yet.
Yep.
And then I had my comp, and I was really happy about that. Had my I really never thought I would make it that far, and then I had it, and I had like a suit on and gave a comp speech and it was just a lot of fun. It was a great moment. I definitely will remember that for a while. But yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite moments that I had to think of immediately.
Sweet. Well, let's wrap up the pre-done questions and quickly go and see if chat's got a few questions, and then we will wrap it up, as I know you need to hop off at some point soon.
I'm down to answer questions. No, it's fine. I'm not in a hurry, really.
So, and Nikki's asking if the glasses are special glasses.
Oh yeah, the glasses. So these glasses are not actually. I'm not really normally wearing glasses outside. I don't need glasses. These glasses are blue light glasses, and they're reflecting blue light, so they're healthier for your eyes, and they're supposed to make you focus better. Which, like, I can't really tell the difference exactly if I focus 2 times as well on the game.
Yeah.
But they're definitely good on your eyes. I can definitely feel a difference when I'm not wearing them and playing for a while, or if I'm wearing them. And eventually got them, and it was a pretty good investment. I'm very happy with them. They're called Gunners.
Gunner glasses.
EddieMoo in the chat said it too. Exactly. Very, very happy with them. So I'm always wearing them when I'm streaming, so I know I'm going to spend a couple hours in front of the computer. So yeah, normally I don't wear glasses. So people at RuneFest do seem to be surprised. Don't recognize me without the headset and the glasses at first. But yes, I do have those whenever I stream. So there are special glasses. I don't actually need glasses otherwise.
Because I use the program, it's Flux, which basically just does it sort of automatically on the before it actually outputs anything.
Yeah. I'm using that too, actually, from time to time. Sometimes even both. I just don't know where it is right now. I don't have it running, but I used it for a while and don't know why I stopped. But I have these anyway, so. I have tried to take him off for a bit, but then people are like, "Who are you?" and I don't recognize anymore. So it has been kind of a trademark by now. So I'm still wearing them.
Yeah, like Bates says, it is kind of a signature look.
It is pretty
very much so. But how have you found RuneFest? I guess we kind of didn't cover that. Have you been to many of them, or
RuneFest? No, I have. It has been my first one. Probably same as you.
Last year's one. Yeah,
last year was my first one. So I actually got talked into by Woody, I think. That they said they all wanted to go, and yeah, it was just a great experience. I'm really happy with it. I met a lot of people that I didn't know except online, and they recognized me or they knew who I was, and I got to talk to a lot of people. I was like, if I go there alone or just with Woody, and he's like the only one that I kind of like know who he is, and we go there together, I'm not sure how much fun it is going to be or how the people will be, but we were in that same pub, and everybody, like, it was really nice. I had a great time. It was one of my favorite let's say mini vacations ever. Or trips rather. But yeah, it was great meeting so many new people and talking to them, and you all have the same interest, which is RuneScape. So it was very, very happy. I would love to go again.
That's the thing, isn't
Maybe
it?
Next year.
Where else are you going to be able to go where everybody else
knows
RuneScape?
That's a big meetup. Yeah. It is a little bit expensive in my opinion, but it's still worth it,
Yeah. So let's see, has anybody else in chat got any questions for Tam? I think there was something earlier on, but
there was. I didn't.
Asking if you still box.
Yeah, Not at the moment, but I do actually go for a run every morning, so that's a good thing. But I will start going back there again. It's just I'm trying to stream around my time, early morning to noon to afternoon, because then I feel like I still have the rest of the day ahead of me.
Yeah.
And lots of time for doing stuff. So it doesn't really fit in. I wish there was a better schedule where I could like box in the evening or something like that. But it's at like exactly when I would start my stream. So when I usually am about ready to end my stream is when I would only get home. So I have to like
push it all back and
exactly. And so that's why I'm not doing it at the moment. But I would like to go again. Yeah.
Nikki asking what advice you have for the early Iron Man part of the game. I know I've regularly heard people say quests are a good thing to focus on. Would you?
Yes, I would agree on that. Quests are amazing because on an Ironman, there's a lot of people that start an Ironman only playing main prior to that. Let's say James Rackay, DRS Garg, a few to name. So they just think they can rush something like Telos really quick. And they have like a short list of goals, what they want to get. And then they realize how much more there is to Ironman mode and are starting to do all the quests anyway. So I would say since you have to pretty much eventually get into that quest anyway to get all these rewards, you get so much money out of it with the quest shop now too, and a lot of other rewards from the quest itself. I would definitely recommend go for the quest, go for that 150 quest point goal to begin with for that tier 75 weapon. Definitely a great weapon to unlock. And then other goals could be, let's see, say, you see that fly? Sorry.
No worries.
There is money farming, there's token farming, and it depends on what your goals are. Obviously, there are different Ironmen that want different things. If you are just going for maxing or comping, it really depends. I always say the same thing if they ask me if I have any advice for them. They have to be more specific because I don't know what they want to do. I can't tell them do this and that for comp and trim to do it early on because it's better then when you still need the XP if they don't even want to go for comp and trim, right? So it really depends, but I'm going to do a hard crime series soon. Not soon, but like maybe in 2 months or so. Somewhere around then is when I want to start. Where I'm trying to rush pref and other goals like the Darkmire, the quest shop and stuff like that to get somewhere fairly quickly, unlock stuff, and then I can always refer to that. So I do plan on that since I do have a lot of experience now, like 4 years of Ironman experience.
You know where your stuff is.
Exactly. I would, I have had a lot of experience, especially because I'm streaming. So I talk to a lot of people all the time, and you know that's how you learn about a lot of stuff too. So I would say I have a really good some Ironman knowledge. So it's definitely putting me in a good spot if I want to like race or do something quick on a new account. So that's why I really want to do it, but haven't gotten to it yet. So yeah.
It's all good.
So specific questions, I'm always happy to answer them on my stream or anywhere. But they always have to be more specific about what exactly they want to reach on a new Ironman. But
yeah, Jafet's got a very, I think, a good overall statement of just having fun is the most important thing.
Exactly, yeah. So that's one thing. You can't really tell somebody what to do. It depends on what they want to do, what they like
what kind of play style they enjoy. Yeah,
exactly. If they want to just take it slow and want to do, I don't know, quests or mini games, then they should do that, whether it's efficient or not, right? But it just really depends. And if people ask what the most efficient way is, then I'll try and answer. But I can't really force it on anybody, but because it's not how it works.
So Bates is asking what made you decide to start streaming. You said it was kind of to show off your maxed hardcore, basically.
Right. Starting to stream, I I think it started a little before that. I had my hardcore diamond. I didn't max it yet, but I had my hardcore diamond, and I was like halfway through to getting closer to maxing maybe. And that's when I finally just decided to go on Twitch and see what's happening. And then I found some hardcore diamond streamer that was maxed, and I was like really interested because I wanted to see how they play and what they do. That's when I started basically to get more interested into, efficiency and what other people do.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from just watching that stream for a little bit. And so I just kind of started to get into that community immediately. I love being in a community and talking to people and like learning through talking and meeting new people, having new friends and whatnot. So I kind of just thought that's what I want to do. When I had a good Ironman or hardcore Ironman rather that I could show and something interesting to stream. That's when I said, I want to stream, have my community, talk to people, meet people like that, and then I also can do stuff without getting bored immediately because I don't just do that stuff and stare at my screen, but I can interact with
you've got company
people
and
exactly.
It's like
you talk, the time passes twice as quick. Right?
Well, yeah, I've been grinding. I had to grind 17 magic levels, killing goblins at the Goblin Village because I'm on the clue only because I needed to get Enchant Ruby.
Okay.
And I thought, well, I may as well do it at Goblin Village because they drop clues at 1 in 64. But of course, it takes quite a while.
Yeah. It's definitely nicer to have something
streaming
to do
that was very nice.
Exactly. Yeah, I get it.
And is it what you thought it was going to be, or has anything surprised you? Another sort of second part to Base's question.
Streaming. Yes, streaming. Yeah. I would say it is. Well, hard to say because I don't really remember how I saw it before I started.
Hard looking back at it.
It's pretty similar though. Obviously, you have the other point of view where you're in front of the camera and in front of your thing and have to entertain people instead of watching somebody that entertains people. Or you don't have to, but it's the other point of view, and you're in that position, and it's what you want to be. But it still is kind of. It looks different, but it's still kind of is exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm pretty happy with it. I definitely enjoy streaming, and I would say it's pretty much how I hoped it would be. Yeah.
MacGyver's asking what your opinion on spoons is.
Oh no, spoons. Do you know the spoon meme?
I don't know if I know the meme, but
okay. So I'm not sure. It just kind of started to grow popular recently. Basically like the always lucky meme, right? You know how you get a drop or a broadcast or something, and everybody, instead of gratis, they say always lucky. This guy gets stuff all the time. Such a lucker, blah blah. Okay. But it's sarcastic, so it's all good. And then there's the spoon meme. Is in you are getting spoon fed. Everything is getting spoon fed to you because you're so lucky, and they are literally giving you everything. And so every time now, at least in our community, when somebody gets something, all they do is spoon and spoon with bowl and spoon fed. And I just try to like annoy them right back and say, you're spoon fed. And every time they get something, I'm spamming them back and hope that they get annoyed by it to stop. But it didn't work.
See, funnily enough, I actually thought he was asking about Weatherspoons.
Oh yeah, I love Weatherspoons. But yeah. That's great. That was my favorite pub for sure.
It was like the only pub, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, but like I still loved it.
It's cheap.
So
it's cheap.
Cheap and good.
Oh, Becky saying hi. Hello, Becky.
Hello, Becky.
How are you? And Careful Tom.
Oh no!
Asking if you'll ever change your name, so you don't have to, because you don't have to be careful. Or do you think you're gonna stick with it?
That's a good question. Well, it's kind of trademarked, just like the glasses now, I think. So I doubt I will change it anytime soon.
It's like if you ever change your headset as well, I'm sure.
People know me as Tam. People are calling me Tam, so definitely stay Tam. not sure about the Careful, but it still is kind of like maybe something that sounds cooler or better and more fitting, but I can't think of anything, so I'm definitely not changing it right now. If I can somehow think of something much better fitting and just better overall, then I would probably consider changing to it, but no, I would most likely not.
You could always go Reckless Tam instead. No, you don't have to be careful.
Oh, that's my sister. That's my sister's Twitch account, so there you go. There's Careful Tom, which I'm not 100% sure who he is, but he never tells me, so.
Yes, Tam the Sandwich Man. I believe you mentioned to me of your previous cosplayers. I haven't actually seen them.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I don't know how I can show you right now, but it would be on my Twitter. I have done only one cosplay. I planned to make another one, but then he got kind of pushed aside because of the whole COVID situation, and my sister was not legally allowed to come over. But it's still on the list of eventual to-dos. So I'm enjoying. I had a lot of fun doing that Sandwich Lady cosplay at some point. People I think enjoyed it too. We just decided as a follower special to do a cosplay. I put a lot of effort in with my sister, and we had a poll where people voted, and Sandwich Lady was the one that came out. Obviously it had to be a female character, so they voted for that. And now we did the same thing again for the Laniakia cosplay, which I wanted to work on, but then it got pushed aside. And now every time I'm thinking of it, I'm like, I need to do that, and then it's always getting pushed aside again. But yeah, hopefully eventually we can still do that.
Hang on.
Because it was fun to do the sandwich cosplay.
Are you happy with me putting this image on stream? I mean, it's on your Twitter, so it's there. It is.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, it's somewhere on my Twitter. Somewhere, if you dig deep enough.
Oh, dear. Oh, a question I always ask, but I've forgotten. What's your favourite curry?
What? Curry?
Curry.
MacGyver is my favourite curry. I don't really like curry, to be honest. Unpopular opinion here, but I'm not really a curry guy. I don't hate it. I eat it, but I don't make it myself, or I cook stuff, but I don't ever make curry. There's just other stuff I prefer over it. So there's definitely good curry and bad curry, but never really got into it. No. So
is that just because you don't like spicy food, or?
Yes, that's for one. So maybe that already puts me
at a bit of a disadvantage. Yeah,
exactly. There's not a big choice anymore. Not too many unspicy. Banana curry is pretty good, but other than that, yeah, not really a big curry guy.
All right, lovely. Well, I feel like chat is now just turned into
memes. Yeah. Just memes, as it always does. That's fair.
It's beautiful. But anyway, I feel like we will call it to an end there. So before we head off, have you got any shout outs or anything like that you'd like to make?
Shout outs?
Yeah.
For like what? For me or for someone else?
Whatever you'd like. Down to you.
No, not really. I'm not sure what we're talking about here. I might
do you want to shout anybody out, or like viewers?
No. They don't deserve it. I love them. I'm loving them. I'm just kidding. No, nothing I could think of. No, really, not really. No, I'm good. But thanks.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for coming along this afternoon.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
And I hope everyone that's been watching has enjoyed it. If you haven't yet, go and vote in the Golden Gnomes. Obviously, we had the nominations come out last Friday, so make sure you get your votes in for people.